Hello and welcome everyone. In this session, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Azure machine learning automatic machine learning tool, and I'm gonna just quickly demonstrate how you can create that. So the Azure machine learning includes an automated machine learning capability that leverage the scalability of cloud compute to automatically try and multiple processing techniques and model training algorithms. Obviously, this is all in parallel to find the best performing supervised machine learning model for your data. So note that the automated machine learning capability in Azure Machine Learning supports supervised machine learning models. In other words, models for which the training data includes known labels and values. You can use automated machine learning to train models for classification, and obviously classification output will be predicting categories or classes, regression or linear regression, which basically predicts a numeric values, time series forecasting, which basically regression with time series element, enabling you to predict numeric values at a future point in time. So the first thing we need to do is in the Azure the Azure Machine Learning Studio, this one here, we would need to create a new automate ML start. We'll create a new one, and in here we're gonna create a new dataset. Obviously, you can create a new dataset from different tab here through the dataset, and you can just create a new dataset straight from here. Okay. If you create it from the dataset, then you will just select your dataset in the machine learning ML. So I'll just create, because I'm already here, so I'm just going to create the dataset straight from here. I'm going to call this obviously the model that I'm going to be creating, or the dataset that I'm going to be working on, is the bike rental. And I'm going to create a regression model to predict bicycle rentals. So I'm going to call the dataset bike rentals, and I'm going to use dataset tabular, and I'm going to write some description for my dataset. And then I'm going to create the current selected workspace for my dataset, basically the data store unfind selection. I'm going to just upload my dataset file, which is here. Obviously, you can find this on your learning material from Microsoft Learn. That's the same one. And then I'm going to click, oh, sorry, I already uploaded it. And then I'm going to click next. And that's green now. And you notice that it's still processing. So in here, I am happy with delimited, coma, UTF-8. All files have same header. I'm just going to say only first file has headers. And that will just give me, separate the header of the file from the data. And skip rows, I don't want to skip any rows. I'm going to keep that, and then I'm just going to go next. Now in here, it is by default correct, but just note that I'm selecting everything apart from the path. Then this is your schema. You make sure that you've got everything as you wanted. The confirm details do not profile the dataset after creation. Or that's fine. Skip done. I'm gonna create. Okay, so here is our dataset. If you click in here, you can find the specifications. And now I'm going to go back to automate machine learning. I'm going to create new machine learning, automated machine learning. I'm going to select bike rental, which I've already created. I'm going to say next, and that's going to take me to configure, run. And in here, I'm going to create a new experiment. The Azure Machine Learning includes an automated machine learning capability, as I said before. And there's something that is very important to understand, that the Azure Machine Learning operation that you run, which is basically this, we call experiment. And after you save your project, it will be saved in the experiment tab. So it's not a project as we call it in other ecosystems. In the Microsoft Azure ecosystem, we call this experiment. Cool. So the new experiment's name, you can call it anything really, but for me, I'm just gonna call it the MS Learn Bike Rental. And then the tag column, I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna use the rental because this is what we want to predict. And obviously you need to select a computer cluster, which is I'm going to create. Obviously you can create, as the data set, you can create these computer clusters outside of the Automate ML, or you can just create them here. So if you do have one ready, then you can use that. Otherwise, you can just create it here.